Hi, I'm Dwayne Brown. Tonight on KPBS Evening Edition, California's governor is undergoing cancer treatment for a second time. What his doctors are saying tonight. And the music world mourns a longtime San Diegan who brought an Eastern flair to Western popular music. Ravi Shankar has died.
And San Diego schools plan to make millions in cuts despite the promise of Proposition 30 money. Plus, we'll talk with the attorney of a prominent Mexican architect sentenced for drug smuggling and explain how coercion is changing the way drugs are making it across the U.S.-Mexico border. I'm Peggy Pico with those stories and more just ahead.
And cultural and language issues can lead to problems for refugees trying to get health care. We'll look at how advocates are trying to bridge the gap. KPBS Evening Edition starts now.
KPBS Evening Edition is made possible by Joan and Erwin Jacobs and by
Hi, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Governor Jerry Brown is being treated for prostate cancer. His doctor says the cancer was found early and Brown's prognosis is excellent. The governor is keeping up his full work schedule while he gets radiation treatment. It's his second bout with cancer. He had a cancerous growth on his nose removed in spring 2011. A few months ago, we told you about a political divide in San Diego with Interstate 8 serving as the border. Tonight, a new report says the city's electoral center of gravity is shifting south of the freeway. Researchers at National University say the trend appears to be permanent. They point to the results of the last mayoral election, where Bob Filner dominated the southern portions of the city to defeat Carl DeMaio, who did better in northern areas. Researchers say future candidates will have to pay more attention to concerns of voters in the city's older urban core. The Defense Department has denied a request to upgrade a fallen Marine's Navy Cross to the Medal of Honor. Congressman Duncan Hunter has been working to get the nation's highest military honor for Marine Sergeant Rafael Peralta, who died in Iraq in 2004. The issue at stake is whether Peralta was conscious when he pulled a grenade to his body during a battle, saving the lives of the men around him. The Defense Department says he didn't act knowingly, and the new video and testimony provided by Hunter was not enough to change their decision. The music world is mourning the death of Ravi Shankar in San Diego. Shankar brought traditional Indian sitar music to Western audiences and pioneered the concept of the rock benefit with the Concert for Bangladesh in 1971. Shankar lived in Encinitas for 20 years. He won 3 Grammys and was nominated for a 4th. Less than 2 weeks after taking office, Mexican President Enrique Pena Nieto was in Tijuana today. He held a meeting with hundreds of local business leaders. Our Fronteras Desk reporter, Jill Replogle, is in the newsroom. Jill, you spoke with someone who actually went to the meeting. What did he have to say?
Yeah, I spoke with David Mayagoitia, and he's the chairman of the board of the Tijuana Economic Development Council, which promotes industrial development in the border region. And he said the president came primarily to listen to what local business leaders and also state and local political leaders wanted from his government, what they really need to happen.
And what do they want?
Well, he said they had a very long Christmas list, and a lot of the requests were for infrastructure improvements, but there were 3 big things that he thinks the region really needs to be competitive. One is lower electricity tariffs, and because Baja California is connected to the U.S. grid, not the national Mexican grid, companies, industrial, everybody has higher electricity tariffs, and that is difficult for them to be competitive with other parts of Mexico. The second thing is a rail line between Tijuana and the U.S. There are infrastructure problems on that side, and the U.S. there are some litigation problems, but that could really help in bringing more auto business to Tijuana and to the whole region, which they think would help them be competitive with other parts of Mexico as well. And then the third thing is establishing a commercial enterprise zone along the border, and that would mean reduction in tariffs, but also supporting businesses and innovation.
And did he seem impressed with what the president had to say about it?
Yeah, he did. He was actually more impressed that the president came to listen. He said it's the first time that a president has come and said, okay, tell me what you want. He was also impressed that this is just the second visit that the president has made to a city outside of Mexico City, and he was just inaugurated a few weeks ago.
Front Terrace reporter Jill Replogle. A prominent Tijuana architect was sentenced in San Diego this week to 6 months in federal prison for drug smuggling. Peggy Pico talks with his attorney about claims he was coerced.
Famed architect Eugenio Velasquez faced a mandatory 10-year federal prison sentence for smuggling more than 12 pounds of cocaine into the U.S. from Tijuana. But prosecutors asked for a lighter sentence because evidence supported his claim that he was smuggling drugs under duress. Here to talk about coercive drug smuggling are Jeremy Warren, attorney for Velasquez, and Victor Clark Alfaro, director of Tijuana's Binational Center for Human Rights. Thank you both for joining me today. Jeremy, your client holds dual citizenship in the U.S. He lives in a modest neighborhood in San Diego. He's known for his architectural designs in Tijuana. Not a typical profile. No. So what does he say happened?
Well, in a nutshell, he had a client who seemed to be the kind of guy who was connected, and he offered him protection to Mr. Velasquez when he crossed the border. My client would call him up on the phone, say, I'm coming to Tijuana. And the guy said, oh, yeah, my people are watching you. Well, after a few weeks of this, the man came to him and said, oh, there's a price to pay for this. You owe us $40,000 for this protection we've been providing you.
Today, on the spot, right?
Yes. And when he balked, he was presented another alternative, which was driving drugs across the border. And obviously, he didn't want to do it, but he felt trapped. They told him they knew where his family lived, where his wife lived, his children, those sorts of things.
And there was a gun pulled on him as well. He and someone else in the car. But prosecutors don't typically buy this. You know, I was forced to. I didn't mean to do this. How come in this case they did?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, there was a lot of corroboration in terms of we had the medical doctor who had the same threat made to him who was there when it happened to Mr. Velasquez. We had other witnesses to things that happened after Mr. Velasquez was arrested with armed intruders coming to Mr. Velasquez's business. And then on top of that, we had just the corroboration based on who he was, that in a million years he's not the kind of guy who would ever do this thing. And I just need to say that the prosecutors didn't recommend the sentence he got. They did recognize he deserved a break. They recognized there was some veracity to what he explained happened to him, but it was the judge who came all the way down and gave him just 6 months.
6 months, right. And, okay, instead of the mandatory 10 years. Victor, let's talk about drug smugglers using coercion. Is this something new, and how prevalent is it?
No, it's not new. It's a practice used for years, probably for a long time. But if you have a student who has been threatened by the drug cartels, or a housewife, or a professional, and if you don't trust Mexican authorities, and these people tell you that they are going to kill your family if you don't cross drugs, and if you don't have too much contacts, or you have heard all these histories of violence in our country, obviously you are going to cross drugs.
Right, 60,000, I believe, through the drug wars. Let me ask you this. There's another tactic called blind mules. I had never heard of that. Tell me what that is. It's
someone who is crossing drugs without knowing that the person is crossing, usually in their car, to the U.S. side, drugs.
So somebody who's driving, let's say, I'm going to cross the border, I wouldn't know, somebody would place drugs in or under my car without my knowledge?
Right. Inside or outside of your car, they will put you drug, and then you will cross, and suddenly you are going to be sent to secondary inspection, and they will discover they have drugs.
Jeremy, how are those types of cases prosecuted? Do people buy that story?
They're prosecuted aggressively. By and large, the opinion of law enforcement is that's a lie that's being told to avoid responsibility. We know it's true. The government knows it's happened. It's been happening, I think, with some frequency, but it's gone on ever since I started practicing here, and I'm sure well before that. Let
me ask you, what should somebody do if they've been coerced? Let's just talk with coercion. What should they do? Turn themselves in? What should someone do if they're faced with this situation?
It's a horrible situation to find yourself in. The first step would be to avoid, like what my client did. The mistake was taking this offer of protection. Anything that sounds a little hinky and you should avoid it. If you're really caught in that situation, obviously, if you do what they're asking you to do, it'll never end. They'll never say you're off the hook. They got you for free. So you have to go to law enforcement. You have to ask for help.
All right. And Victor, what about tourists coming over into the border? Are they safe? Are they protected from this? What should they do?
No, the drug cartels and different groups of the organized crime, they go behind everybody. They don't care if they're tourists or local people, U.S. citizens. But I haven't heard of, I don't know how many tourists, because we don't have statistics, but my impression is they don't go behind tourists probably, especially now that we don't have too many tourists in Tijuana.
Okay. All righty. Well, Jeremy Warren and Victor Cluck Alfaro, thank you so much for talking about this. A whole lot more information about this on our website. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chargers have less than 24 hours to avoid a TV blackout Sunday, so they're turning to Groupon to sell tickets for their game against the Carolina Panthers. Groupon is a daily deal website. It's selling in-zone tickets at face price, that's $68, and throwing in a $20 food and drink voucher. Now, if the Chargers don't sell enough tickets, it will be the fourth blackout this season. A new era begins at the San Diego Symphony this summer with Bill Conti taking over as Pop's conductor, a story we reported earlier this week. Conti actually stopped by the KPBS studios today to talk about his new gig.
But San Diego, they play with integrity. This is important to a conductor, that the music that they're playing could be Beethoven, Mozart, or Conti. Well, it can't, I shouldn't say those in the same breath, but if you play it like you mean it, for all of that, then you have integrity. And San Diego has integrity, and I'm excited about making music with them.
We have more with Bill Conti on our website, talking about his career and the future of the San Diego Symphony Pops. After 2 decades of negotiations and holdups, Barrio Logan finally has its supermarket. The new Northgate Gonzalez store opened to the public today.
The city just totally neglected us for decades. So the fact that we're sitting in an area that had junkyards, that had toxic waste sites, believe it or not, and now we're sitting in a beautiful market that's going to serve the very community that it's surrounding, it is a very big deal.
The store is expected to create about 125 jobs. Federal health reform is expected to increase the number of people who have health insurance. Researchers predict 1 in 5 will be non-native English speakers. That's up from 1 in 8. But medical providers are already having trouble keeping up with the demand for translation. Our Speak City Heights reporter Megan Burke says the refugee community in Mid-City are demanding a more culturally competent healthcare experience.
When Saharo Noor came to San Diego from Somalia 18 years ago, she was pregnant. When she went into labor just weeks later, her Western delivery room felt familiar. She was a midwife and a registered nurse back home. But delivery wasn't easy.
They asking me, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? Why you didn't, the baby's not coming out? Because everything is sewing.
Like a lot of East African women who came to the United States in the 90s, Noor was circumcised. The cultural practice removes parts of the genitals, stitches and scar tissue, then narrow the birth canal. For a circumcised woman to give birth vaginally, the doctor would have to make incisions to reestablish the birth canal. Doctors in the United States rarely see female circumcision. Noor's doctor had never seen it. Noor couldn't speak English at that time. She tried to pantomime the needed procedure, but it just didn't work.
And they didn't understand, and everything the baby cut by himself, and I get a lot of pain, a lot of bleeding.
The baby is fine. In fact, he's studying engineering at San Diego State. But Noor's pain eventually gave way to permanent numbness. Her story is just one in a catalog of medical mishaps and nightmares refugee women in City Heights are sharing with their community. They're asking residents to sign a petition to get insurance providers to cover face-to-face translation in doctors' offices and hospitals. Zuletka Wacho is from Ethiopia. She came to San Diego by way of Oregon.
It's a lot of people that are afraid, frustrations and worry too much. What's going to happen? What's he going to say? Because of not understanding. You worry, are he going to be help me or are he going to be damage me? Because you're not really comfortable what he says, what he's going to do.
Wajo said refugees often put off going to the doctor because they fear it will make things worse. Some of the women report getting a wrong medication, a misdiagnosis, even a wrong surgery because they can't communicate with their doctor. Wajo said she recently went to the doctor to have a persistent rash looked at. She got it 6 years ago. Wajo and Noor helped interview more than 200 refugee women with similar stories earlier this year.
So those of you who took part in this study, can you raise your hand?
Researcher Bill Oswald helped with the study.
2/3 of the women generally said that they have no idea what their doctor is telling them. They have no faith the doctor understands them. They don't know what to do when they get their aftercare, and they have very little awareness of what the medicine is supposed to do or how they're supposed to take it.
The state offers translated prescription labels for free online. It also passed laws requiring that all providers be culturally competent and never rely on children to translate for their parents. But a slapdash approach to translation is the status quo. Most often, family and friends are pulled in to do the work. Prescriptions are rarely translated. In San Diego, the La Maestra Clinic on Fairmont Avenue is a model because it hires from the refugee community. But still, those employees have to serve multiple roles because the clinic can't bill insurance companies for translation alone. La Maestra also has to refer patients to specialists in hospitals where translation isn't readily available.
Most doctors' offices provide translation over the phone, and refugee patients cite one major problem with that: the translators can't see them. This room provides a solution.
It's set up with an exam table, a camera, and a big screen TV that can connect with other doctors' offices. Patients and their La Maestra interpreters can meet with a specialist remotely. Zara Marcellian is the founder and CEO of La Maestra. She said telemedicine is the only way she'll permit translation over the phone. She says the phone service specialists and hospitals use doesn't go far enough.
They don't have any background information on what's happening here, California, in terms of, what program they could qualify for if they get into those kinds of conversations or translating those issues. They won't know. They won't know where to hook the patient up to or where to send them for help because they're outside the city, outside the state. So to me, it just is like it's getting the job maybe a quarter done.
Wacho agrees.
We need quality interpreter to include to our insurance face-to-face. That's what we're asking for. We don't want anymore to be barrier our health.
The women will send their petition to the board handling California's new health exchange under the Affordable Care Act. The board is tasked with setting regulations for participating insurance companies. In the meantime, Noor says she sees one glimmer of hope. Second-generation refugees are studying medicine, including her own daughter, who recently graduated from UCSD. Megan Burks, KPBS News.
Despite the promise that money from voter-approved Proposition 30 would stabilize our schools, last night San Diego Unified approved its first budget with more cuts to make up for a roughly $80 million deficit. School board member Richard Barrera joins me with more on what's in store for the district and to talk more about these cuts, which could be a little confusing, Richard, for people.
Well, they should be confusing. The first thing to understand is we have not begun our budget process yet. We are legally required, all school districts are legally required to submit what's called a first interim report by mid-December prior to the governor even releasing his proposed budget. 80% of the money for schools comes from the state budget. So we have to propose a budget that at this point we're required to anticipate no increased revenues. But of course, when voters went and made an investment in education by passing Prop 30, their expectation is to see increased revenues. We expect to see increased revenues when the governor proposes his budget.
But you can't officially count on it.
We can't officially count on it now, but when the governor releases his budget,
January
that really
10th.
kicks off the January 10th. That really kicks off the state budget process, and that, in reality, kicks off our budgeting process as well.
A lot of people would say this is backwards. Why not just sync it? Why not sync it up? What is the standing of why not
Well, it's you know, we're legally required to go through these first interim, second interim, and the state budget is not legally required to be adopted until the end of June. So it's backwards because the biggest part of the state budget is education. We would love for the state to pass its budget, or at least its education portion of the budget, in the early spring, and then we could make our decisions, based on that. But look, I mean, we're very optimistic. The voters have spoken. We've gone through a period of, the worst budget crisis ever in schools in California. Our teachers and our employees have made tremendous sacrifices to get us through this crisis. And now we're looking going into next year at stabilizing, not going through pink slips again, not going through these budget cuts.
No more furlough days?
No more we anticipate that we will continue to have 5 furlough days this year. We'd like to start restoring them next year. We think the big restorations are going to come in future years, but for the next year, the goal is to just have some stability.
No more losses. Let's talk about Prop 30 money. When is it expected to come to at least start to coming into San Diego Unified, and how much are you expecting to get?
Well, so Governor Brown in the campaign, including here in San Diego, often cited a number that within a few years with the passage of Prop 30, we'd see $2,500 per student per year increase. That's over $250 million a year to our school district. That would be money that could bring class sizes back down, could expand the programs like the International Baccalaureate program and dual language immersion that are showing so much success with our students. We think that's going to start to come in 2 or 3 years, but in the meantime, going into next year, we're anticipating enough money to just stay stable, and then to really think about how we start to rebuild our district going forward.
You mentioned bringing class sizes down. What else? What other types of services or programs are you thinking of restoring?
Well, of course, we want to bring the school year back to its normal length. It's been 180 days over the past few years. We've had to cut it to 175. We're making on November 6th, when the voters approved Prop 30 statewide, they also approved our school bond, Prop Z, locally. That's going to allow us to continue our investment in technology. And the big thing is, we're looking to bring people into our district. We took some action last night on a long-term program to create a career pathway for our own students to go into education. We're very excited about the prospect of building our teaching force and our education force over the next several years, including with students from our district, in a way that starts to mirror, the demographics of our own students. So long term, we're very excited about what we can see. We're just trying to get through this next year with some stability and no more cuts.
Right. Just very briefly, short term.
Yes.
When will we see? It may, if the money comes through, will teachers stay? Will things stabilize? Even though you have to go through this sort of formal process.
Correct.
Can we toss that sort of budget plan out when this gets...
Well, sure. When the governor releases his budget proposal, then that's the number that we will then base our budget on, going forward. That's right.
All right. Richard Barrera, San Diego Unified School District Board Member. Thanks for talking with us.
Thank you, Peggy.
County Water Authority has a big problem in the San Carlos area. 82 miles of water pipes coming apart faster than expected. The pipes are underground, so replacing them is expensive, not to mention it can cause headaches for neighbors. Instead of replacing the pipes, workers are relining them with steel at a cost of about $21 million. The pipeline will last 75 years longer with a new lining. We're starting to see rain clouds moving in, and the Weather Service says this will be a cold storm, rainy and about 60 degrees along the coast tomorrow. The inland valleys will also be wet and a little cooler. A winter advisory goes into effect for the mountains starting at 10 tonight through Friday morning. Even the desert areas will likely see rain, but forecasters say the storm should begin moving out by Friday. Now, you may want to consider opening your heart and home for our next story by giving a homeless animal the best gift of the season, a forever home.
I think his name should be Casanova. He's such a lover.
You're such a lover. Yes, you are.
Volunteer Don McConaughey is in the adoption playroom.
This is Stu, and that's Jambalaya.
Now, the third member of the family was actually adopted earlier this morning, even before the adoption center officially opened.
They're massive shepherd mix and they're 4 months old.
San Diego Humane Society has opened a new adoption center in El Cajon. Inside the Petco store on 2nd and Madison today is McConaughey's first time volunteering. She lives nearby in Blossom Valley. She says after raising her children, she now has some extra time.
And I always wanted to work with animals, and I had the opportunity, and I got online, looked it up on the Humane Society, heard about this, and it's perfect. I'm right down the road, and I love it. Come here, jambalaya. Excuse me.
Eddie, the Chihuahua mix, was transferred here from Yuma, Arizona. This one-year-old has spent his entire life in a shelter. Someone's got to adopt that cute little face. In the slightly larger category, there's 3-year-old Bonnie. Spayed mixed pit bull. And as you see, very active. Or maybe young Trevor is more to your liking. He's what you call a lion-head bunny. All these animals have either been turned in by their owners or transferred from other shelters. And yes, they've been spayed or neutered and ready for adoption.
It's going to be an experience where you can actually sit down and get to know the animal before you make that decision. You also have an opportunity to bring your animal in if it makes sense, and have the animals, see if it would make sense for the person's household.
This is the first time the Humane Society has partnered with a pet store, and it's the first foray into the East County.
This particular project has been generously donated by the Petco Foundation. And so it's been an incredible opportunity for us.
It was a year in the making, and they've set a goal to find homes for 50 animals throughout the grand opening this weekend. The new adoption center in El Cajon is open 5 days a week from 10 until 5, Thursday through Monday. Tonight's stories are online at kpbs.org/evening edition. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.